Hey guys, welcome to the channel. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jackie and I am the owner and founder of Mirabelle Naturals. Okay, so in today's video, while I'm letting my hair dry, I thought I would talk to you a little bit about taking care of fine hair. If you have fine hair, you probably feel like it doesn't grow super long, maybe it doesn't grow past your shoulder, doesn't feel very dense, it doesn't feel very full. And there's a few reasons for that. Fine hair is super prone to damage, which means it's super prone to breakage. Overall, the diameter of the hair strand is thinner than of someone with coarse hair. We're gonna go over 6 ways to take care of your fine hair so you can prevent damage that leads to split ends and breakage. Let's get started. And real quick, before we jump in, I have to do the plug. If you like seeing my videos here and you want to see more of them, if you could just hit the subscribe button, I would be so appreciative. And remember, you can also find us posting daily on other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and TikTok. So if you want to subscribe to us there also, greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. Let's go. First thing that you need to take into consideration when styling your fine hair is, do your hair products contain protein? I mentioned earlier that our hair is made of a protein called keratin. Hair needs protein to maintain and to grow in strength. How does protein help our hair become stronger? Well, when your hair is damaged, holes or pores, maybe you've heard of the term high porosity, are formed in your hair shaft. Protein helps to fill in those gaps so that your hair isn't weak in those spots where it's missing its original keratin. Protein will help fill in those gaps, strengthening your hair. Now, if you're not sure where to find a protein product, look for words hydrolyzed on an ingredient label, or of course, usually they'll say protein on the ingredient label. A lot of DIY protein treatments really don't cut it, like putting egg on your hair. I'm not even sure what else is out there, to be honest. The thing with DIY protein treatments that you just have to be careful of is that a lot of proteins found in food and, things that we're going to ingest into our body are not small, and the molecules are not small enough in size to actually penetrate or do anything to our hair strand. So in order for a protein to be small enough to penetrate our hair strand, it has to be hydrolyzed. If you're looking for a DIY treatment, the only things I can recommend would be either a gelatin treatment, which is not vegan, so, it depends how you feel there, or a yogurt treatment. Because yogurt has been fermented, the proteins are actually small enough to do something to your hair. Otherwise, you want to look for products that say hydrolyzed protein on the ingredient label. Now, of course, my favorite protein product obviously is the Mirabelle Naturals Powerhouse Protein Cream. It is chock full of proteins and reparative ingredients. So you're getting a lot in that tube. And because you have fine hair, you really only need literally like a pea-size amount. So what you would do is you would take a pea-size amount of the product, put it on your hand, add some water, mix together to coat your hands and make a nice, luscious, smooth, lightweight product. And then you would apply it all over your hair. We have multiple protein sources in that product, 2 in the first 6 ingredients, so it's concentrated. And then we also balance it out with some moisturizing oils and, of course, reparative ingredients that help to revive your hair shaft and build a protective barrier on the outside. So, obviously, I highly recommend that product. If you want to check it out, I'm going to link below. Second way to take care of your fine hair is to space out shampoo days. If you're someone who shampoos every day or even every other day, I'm just going to ask you to put the shampoo bottle down. Here's the thing about shampoo. Hair pH is around a 4 to a 5, and shampoos are typically have a pH of 6 or higher. Shampoo needs a higher pH is because it's doing a deep clean of your hair and scalp. So the high pH stuns our cuticles open so that the surfactants and cleaning ingredients of the shampoo essentially can go in and get rid of all the grime and buildup and everything, that's in there. Shampoos have such a high pH and do stun your cuticle open like that. they tend to really dry out your hair. Dry hair can also lead to breakage. You're gonna use it, so one, when you do shampoo, you really wanna make sure you're using a nice moisturizing conditioner after to seal your cuticle back down, because the longer your cuticle is expanded and lifted, the more prone to damage it will be. So just don't necessarily need to shampoo that often. I mean, I think for fine, my finer haired friends, I typically say maybe once a week, maybe twice if you really feel like you have to. But instead of shampooing every wash day, I urge you and recommend you try something like our creamy hair cleanser, which is a no poo. So it'll very gently clean your hair because it is pH balanced. So it is the same pH as your hair. So basically, it's not going to stun your hair cuticle open and do a really deep clean. It's going to be more of a surface level clean, but it's going to still get off any surface layer buildup because it has cleaning ingredients like apple cider vinegar and like tea tree oil. So it doesn't have those super high pH value surfactants. It doesn't strip your hair of moisture. And again, you just need a small amount to cover your scalp and your hair. I tend to use more than I need to because it gives me this like really lovely tingling feeling that I just like to keep going. I add more. You don't have to do that though. A small amount, you'll put it on your hair. I like to just squeeze the tube directly on there. I add some water so it has a very light lather. It has jojoba beads to help scrub and exfoliate. So I add a little bit of water to help move it around, comb it through, leave it on while I wash my body, and then rinse it off, move on to my styling products. Now for you with fine hair, honestly, you probably don't even need a conditioner after this product. You could then just move on to like the Powerhouse Protein Cream or whatever stylers you're using. Third point in taking care of your fine hair is to please, I beg of you, to put down the flat irons. If your hair is healthy, I know, I understand sometimes you just want to switch it up. If you're still working on getting your hair to a healthy place, you're gonna need to put down anything with heat in order to gain hair health. Temporary, you can go back to using some heat after your hair is nice and healthy, but during this process, you really want to not use heat at all. Why? Again, heat, burns your hair and creates those holes in your hair shaft, which weakens your hair shaft, which causes breakage and flyaways and thins out your hair overall. If you can avoid that, I highly recommend doing so. This also includes using the heat setting on your hair dryer if you use curling irons to curl your hair. If you don't love your hair texture because it's in this transition phase, there's definitely ways you can do heatless styling, ways to heatlessly style your hair. I have a link to it in the blog post. I'll link to an article I had found about heatless styling down below. And essentially it's like using things like flexi rods, and you can use like socks, and there's different ways to wrap your hair so you can get like nice full curls, or even for your hair to look straighter, so you don't need heat. But number 4 way to take care of your fine hair is to skip the bleach. Really anything with chemicals, any colorants, any relaxers, any perming, anything where you're going to a hair salon and they're putting chemicals on you, highly recommend you skip that. I say bleach specifically because bleach is, very intense and very, very damaging. I feel like that's probably the most common because if you have dark hair and you're going light, you're most likely bleaching. Again, bleach causes holes in our hair shaft, which weaken our hair shaft, which causes breakage. There are ways of bleaching your hair a little bit at a time so it gradually gets lighter versus going from like black to blonde in one sitting. Article on that I'm going to link below as well. The 5th way to take care of your fine hair is to use proper sleep protection. The thing is that when you go to sleep and your hair's not protected and you're just moving around on your cotton pillowcase, you're causing a lot of friction. Friction between your pillowcase and your hair can cause breakage and damage. Did you say that to yourself? Yeah, you knew where I was going with that. In order to minimize any breakage we have overnight while we're sleeping, it's best to use a satin or silk covering of some sort. And silk is not vegan, it comes from an animal, whereas satin is not type of fabric. It's a type of weave. So a lot of satin products are actually polyester with, you know, the weave that gives it that shiny coating. So I like using our satin scarf to sleep to protect my hair. Either wrap it around my hair. I find the closer my hair is to my scalp, the better it looks in the morning because the less it's moving around at night. Or if I don't feel like tying it around my hair, the scarf is big enough where I can just tie it around my pillow. So my hair is out, it's free, and it's moving. There's a little bit of friction, but the satin scarf is covering my pillow. So it's really reducing that very intense friction that happens with something like a traditional weave cotton. So if you need sleep protection, there's our satin scarf, which I highly recommend, which you can also use to cover your pillow. There's also actual satin and silk pillowcases, bonnets, buffs. There's a whole bunch of different options. So you just have to kind of figure out what you like and what works for you. Sixth and final way I'm going to recommend you take care of your fine hair is to get regular trims. Now you might be feeling like, well, I'm trying to grow my hair out long. Why would I get my hair cut all the time? And this is why. So since fine hair is prone to damage and prone to split ends specifically, you want to trim those split ends before they get too bad. So if you have split ends and you're just letting them sit, what'll actually wind up happening is the split will work its way up your hair shaft. So instead of just the end of your hair being split that you could easily just trim and it's gone, the split has worked its way up. So now let's say halfway up your hair shaft is split. So when you go to trim your hair, you're gonna trim it all the way up here to get rid of all the damage. And honestly, if half of that breaks off because it's so weak from being split, that's gonna make your hair feel less full. And that could be why as your hair is getting longer, it's feeling less and less dense. So if you get regular hair trims, every 3 to 4 months, let's say, even maybe 6 months, depending, your hair health in this moment, they will only need to cut off a little bit at a time, so you're not gonna lose a ton of length, but your hair will actually be healthier, enabling it to grow longer and feel fuller. Okay guys, so there you have it. 6 ways to take care of your fine hair for ultimate hair health and to minimize damage and breakage due to split ends. If you enjoyed what you watched in this video, again, I'm just gonna ask that you subscribe to us here on YouTube, find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, or TikTok, or all of them, whatever. And leave a comment below if any of these tips have helped you, or if you have fine hair and you have tips for another fine-haired person out there who might be watching. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and we will talk soon.